Hello there, I'm Ras Adibaratzi and thanks for joining me this Thursday on 7Edition. The headlines. Ring of Fire solar eclipse sweeps across Malaysia and Asia. Government to set up Seoul border agency to guard the country's gateways. Typhoon Pam batters central Philippines, killing at least 16 people. Assalamualaikum, and it's good to see you again. Malaysians were treated to a ring of fire solar eclipse today, a natural phenomenon that is visible in the country after 21 years. Due to its rarity, such events never fails to excite astronomy fans. It attracted over 5,000 people from all over the country to Tanjung Piai National Park in Johor, where they can clearly witness the cosmic event. The eclipse began at 1:21 p.m. and lasted about 2 minutes at the location, one of 3 viewing sites under Solarfest 2019, an eclipse observation event organised by the National Planetarium. About 120 telescopes were provided, in addition to about 6,000 special glasses for the public to witness the phenomenon.
Fenomena yang selanjutnya insya-Allah akan berlaku pada tahun 2042, lebih kurang 21 tahun akan datang dan akan berlaku pada bulan Oktober. Kebetulan pada tahun 2042 ni kita akan menyaksikan 2 fenomena gerhana matahari, iaitu gerhana matahari penuh pada bulan April 2042 dan gerhana matahari nulus sekali lagi pada Oktober 2042.
Apart from families and curious onlookers, those who attended were various astronomical research associations and public universities, as well as astrophotographers. Also making a special appearance at the event was the country's first astrophysicist, Professor Emeritus Dr. Mazlan Othman. The natural phenomenon occurs when the moon covers the sun, and at its maximum stage, a ring of fire could be seen, and it can take decades before another annular solar eclipse occurs. The last one that revealed itself in Malaysia occurred on August 22, 1998 in Mersing, Johor. In Kuala Lumpur, city dwellers also did not want to miss the chance to watch the annular solar eclipse today. About 2,000 people turned up at the National Planetarium despite only a partial eclipse was visible from the federal capital.
The crowd, which came as early as 9 a.m, comprised mostly of parents and their children taking advantage of the school break to witness the rare occasion. Lembah Pantai Member of Parliament Fahmi Mohammed Fadzil also joined the visitors, who were given mylar glasses to view the partial solar eclipse at 1:22 p.m, which lasted for 3 minutes. Telescopes were also provided for the public to get a closer look at the formation of the natural phenomenon.
Event macam ni memang kami selalu hadiri sebab it's something very important to the young children untuk faham tentang situation that's happening in our world.
Lagi teruja lah. Kan dulu tengok dari depan rumah aja kan. Sekarang lebih excited lah. Nak pula dengan anak-anak kan. Memang experience untuk diorang lah.
Earlier, a special solar eclipse prayer was held at 11:20 a.m. for Muslims, led by National Mosque Imam Muhammad Afif Jamal. The annular solar eclipse in Tanjung Piai was shown to the public via live stream by the National Planetarium. The organisers also prepared observations aid for the blind by releasing sound waves from a tool that portrays the movement of the sun and moon. Elsewhere in Perak, over 500 people, including tourists, also witnessed a partial eclipse at the Sultan Idris Shah II Mosque in Ipoh. A sermon and solar eclipse prayers were also performed by the mosque congregation led by the State Deputy Mufti, Datuk Zamri Hashim. 2 other locations to witness the phenomenon in the state were At-Taqwa Mosque in Proton City, Tanjung Malim and Air Jernih Tahfiz School in Gerik. In Terengganu, the solar eclipse was witnessed at Wisma Persekutuan in Kuala Terengganu at 1:19 p.m. Even more fascinating, some of the sky gazers also conducted experiments by balancing eggs during the eclipse. This was due to the increase of gravitational force when the sun, moon and earth were aligned, which enabled the eggs to stand upright.
Meanwhile, sky watchers across Asia were also treated to the rare Ring of Fire solar eclipse. This year's astronomical phenomenon was visible in Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Oman, India, Sri Lanka, Indonesia, Singapore, and parts of the Indian and Pacific Oceans.
In neighbouring country, hundreds of astronomy enthusiasts and spectators gathered at Singapore Harbour to catch a glimpse for what some described as a once-in-a-lifetime event. At Jurong Park in Western Singapore, crowds watched through specially filtered visors and telescopes as the eclipse formed into a fiery circle in the sky. Meanwhile, residents in the Thai capital gathered to watch the annular solar eclipse through telescopes and protective glasses. The view from Bangkok, however, does not result in the rare Ring of Fire solar eclipse as seen in other parts of Asia, but it does not stop excited sky watchers from gathering at the Bangkok Planetarium to watch the partial solar eclipse. In Indonesia, hundreds of people gathered outside Jakarta Planetarium to watch the event using protective glasses supplied by the planetarium, hoping for clear skies at the time of maximum eclipse. Over in United Arab Emirates, UAE residents flocked out to the remote Zayed city, more than 2 hours away from Dubai, in order to get the best seat to witness the annular solar eclipse. Zayed city, which is south of the Emirati capital, was the only place where people could watch the eclipse and see the Ring of Fire. According to the UAE Space Agency and Dubai Astronomy Group, the phenomenon, which was last seen in the UAE 172 years ago, is expected to return again in 83 years. In southern India, people gathered on the beaches in Tamil Nadu to watch the event. The eclipse even affected cricket, with play delayed by 2 hours in a first-class match between Mumbai and Rajkot. The eastern state of Odisha declared a public holiday, with all government offices, courts, schools and colleges closed. While these types of eclipses occur every year or two, they are only visible from a narrow band of Earth each time, and it can be decades before the same pattern is repeated. The next annual eclipse in June 2020 will be visible to a narrow band from Africa to Northern Asia. The following one in June 2021 will only be seen in the Arctic and parts of Canada, Greenland and the remote Russian Far East.
A border agency will be created to oversee as well as strengthen and raise the standards of operation and security along national borders. Home Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin said the government has accepted the proposal to set up a sole body responsible for guarding the country's gateways and wanted it to be set up as soon as possible. Bernama reported Tan Sri Muhyiddin as saying that the setting up of the border agency will be finalised within the next 2 years. The proposal to set up the agency will undergo a 6-month to 1-year study by consultants who will be appointed in March. The study will look into all related matters, including the financial, human resource, logistics, as well as relevant laws. Presently, the task of managing the national borders is being handled by about 28 bodies, associations and companies, which contribute to the congestion and delay in the management of border matters. The Immigration Department clarified that the enforcement agency does not recognise any volunteer units formed by non-governmental organisations intended to aid the department in its duties. Its Director General Datuk Khairul Zaimi Daud stressed that only his department and other mandated enforcement agencies under the law are legally able to deal with illegal immigrants. Datuk Khairul Zaimi, in a statement, said the public, however, can help the Immigration Department by supplying accurate information so that further action can be taken, and reminded them not to take the laws into their own hands. He also pointed out that there are no other provisions in the law that recognise other parties, apart from the police, Immigration Department and Customs, to hunt down illegal immigrants under the law. Earlier today, Parti Bumiputra Perkasa Malaysia, Putra, announced its voluntary volunteer unit would help the local authorities hunt down foreigners who have overstayed. It claimed the unit, now numbering some 2,000 volunteers, could help supply information to the Immigration Department and even help with enforcement activities it is permitted to do so. The Kuala Lumpur High Court has set January 14th next year for mention of the government's 27.2 billion ringgit 1MDB bond cases against Goldman Sachs Singapore Private Limited. Judge Muhammad Zaini Mazlan fixed the date after being informed by the prosecution that it was still in the process of serving the notice of summons against Goldman Sachs Singapore. The court had previously fixed today to hear the prosecution's application to transfer the case from the Magistrates Court to the High Court. In December last year, Malaysia filed 4 charges against Goldman Sachs for allegedly leaving out material facts on the sale of bonds between a subsidiary of 1MDB and ABA Investment PJS Limited, ABA, between March 19, 2012 and November 11, 2013. The company was charged under the Capital Markets and Services Act, which carries a penalty of imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years and a fine of not less than 1 million ringgit upon conviction. Former Goldman Sachs banker Roger Ng Chong Hua had also claimed trial to 4 counts of abetting the company in reference to the sale of the same bonds by omitting material facts and making false statements. The United States Department of Justice has estimated that about 18.6 billion ringgit was misappropriated from 1MDB between 2009 and 2014. A farm worker who has been on the run for over 3 years was charged at the Kuantan Magistrates Court in Pahang today with murdering of his former supervisor in 2016. No plea was recorded from the accused, Rahmat Hasra Abdul Razak, aged 25, after the charge was read before Magistrate Nordiana Abdul Aziz. Rahmat was accused of having murdered Zakaria Tahi, aged 57, on October 7, 2016 in the kitchen of a house in a farm at Kampung Sri Aja in Kuantan. The charge falls under Section 302 of the Penal Code, which provides for mandatory death penalty upon conviction. The accused was arrested on December 12 on the Malaysia-Thailand border. He was believed to have fled to the neighbouring country after the incident. The court fixed January 28 for remention. Over 2,500 Malaysians queued up outside the Traffic Investigation and Enforcement Department JSPT in Kuala Lumpur to clear their summonses in conjunction with the holiday season. Police gave a steep discount of 50% on tickets issued for traffic offences such as speeding. This year, the police chose Christmas Eve and today for people to settle their traffic summonses with discounted prices. 24 counters were opened at the Jalan Tun HS Lee Traffic Police Station, where payments were made either by cash or card transaction from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. To facilitate the payment process, 2 lanes were provided, including one for the public as well as a separate special access lane for elderly, pregnant and disabled individuals. It was estimated that nearly 4,000 road users have taken the opportunity to pay their discounted summonses over the 2-day period.
Pagi tadi pukul 6 lebih datang, sudah 6 jam tunggu sini lah. Sekarang semua dah clear, dah semua okey lah. Sekarang sudah hati okey lah. Sekarang kereta baru boleh. Jangan takut tu polis lah, road block apa-apa.
Saya datang pada pukul 9.30 pagi. So saya sudah beratur selama kira-kira 3 jam lebih 4 jam lah. Sekarang tengah tunggu lagi lah. Proses dia okey, tapi lebih baik kalau kita boleh bayar secara online atau dekat cawangan balai polis lain lah, selain dari yang ini saja.
Hampir semalam saja 1.8 juta sama-sama 2 hari. Ini hari sudah hampir lebih daripada 800,000. Mungkin ini hari melonjak lagi lah kita punya pendapatan untuk bayar saman daripada orang ramai.
However, summonses issued due to traffic incidents, warrants and summonses with NC status were not entitled to the 50% discount. Traffic summonses issued during Ops Selamat as well as trial cases or pending court hearing were also not eligible for the discounted rate. More to come on 7Edition. 7 migrants dead after boat sinks in Turkey. The details after the break. I'm Rasadi Barazi and you're still with us on 7Edition. At least 16 people were killed after Typhoon Pam battered several central Philippine islands on Christmas Day, making 7 landfalls before heading out to the South China Sea. The typhoon, with winds of 95 kilometers an hour, tore roofs off houses and toppled electric posts as it swept across remote villages and popular tourist areas in the region. With internet and mobile phone networks still cut off in some badly damaged areas, a full assessment of Pam's damage was not immediately possible on Thursday morning. The typhoon also hit Boracay, Coron and other holiday destinations that are famed for their white sand beaches and popular with foreign tourists. Tens of thousands of people in the mostly Catholic nation have been forced to evacuate their homes, ruining Christmas celebrations. Many others were not able to return to their families, with ferries and plane services suspended. The storm was forecast to exit the Philippines on Saturday. Seven people were killed, while 64 others were rescued on Thursday as a migrant boat capsized and sank in eastern Turkey's Lake Van. Survivors from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan were being sent for treatment at the hospital and taken to shelters. The incident happened at around 3 a.m. local time as it sailed close to Adil Chevas district in Bitlis on the northern shores of Lake Van. 5 people were killed on the spot, while 2 others died later in the hospital. Search operations were still underway. The lake is near the border with Iran, from where migrants often cross into Turkey on their journey towards Europe. Turkey's security forces have held some 441,532 undocumented migrants on its territory this year. Now let's hop on to Clickbait, where we take a look at what's trending and making the rounds in the cyber world today. Now, a man with a heart condition in China who was just hours due before he undergoes a surgery to install a pacemaker collapsed and died when he was giving a speech about health and longevity. Video of the incident quickly went viral online with nearly 40,000 views. Here's the story. According to Sinshu Daily, a CEO of a health company in Guangdong, Chen Pei-wen was in the midst of giving his speech when he suddenly started walking unnaturally slow from center stage. He then hit his head on the podium before collapsing on the floor. The staff then rushed over to help the man. It was later revealed that Cheng, who had undergone a coronary bypass surgery 20 years ago, collapsed due to a heart attack and has unfortunately passed away. It was also reported that Chen was supposed to go to the hospital right after the event that he was attending to install the pacemaker. Unexpectedly, the heart attack came too soon and he passed away before the appointment. Now, updated as of 7 p.m, here are the top trending topics and searches on the internet today. Hello again. Bursa Malaysia saw 30 new listings this year compared with 22 in 2018, the highest number since 2006 despite the challenging operating environment. Of the 30 new listings, 4 were on the main market versus 2 in 2018, 11 on the ACE market while 15 were on the LEAP market. Bursa Malaysia said Malaysian initial public offering IPO activities in 2019 had been healthy even during a period of market uncertainties. Owing to the stable economic fundamentals, diverse diverse and well-balanced market participants as well as robust governance framework. It also said year-to-date IPO funds raised and market capitalization are 1.97 billion ringgit and 7.92 billion ringgit respectively. On the market performance, it said that despite the large market cap, FBM KLCI stocks struggled with weak sentiment. There were pockets of opportunities in the overall local equity market, particularly in the small and mid-cap stocks. On retail investor participation, the number stood at 26% to the total average daily value, ADV, as at end of October. With regards to foreign shareholding, it remains fairly stable in the range of 22.3 to 24.4%. Bursa Malaysia ended mixed, with the key index remaining weaker at the close, weighed down by selected heavyweights. FBM KLCI inched down 0.68 point to close at 1,603.55 compared with Tuesday's close of 1,604.23. On to stocks to watch. On Tuesday, Gas Malaysia announced that the government has approved the average base tariff of 1.573 ringgit per GJ over 2020 to 2022 for the utilisation of the natural gas distribution system of the company's wholly owned subsidiary, Gas Malaysia Distribution Sdn Bhd. In addition, a surcharge of 0.52 ringgit per GJ to average base tariff for 2020-2021 was also approved. However, the new tariff rate has minimal impact to its earnings, and the company's share price has declined by 8% in the past month over concerns of new tariffs sending earnings lower, which is an overreaction. Next and last on the list, KPJ Healthcare continues to be the top pick over its bright prospects in the private healthcare sector's vast network of hospitals in Malaysia and positive earnings growth led by capacity expansions. But analysts warn that private healthcare operators may be negatively impacted by a weaker ringgit against the US dollar as cost of key inputs such as drugs, medical supplies and medical equipment are affected.